Okay, hello children. Today is Friday, September the 18th, and these are today's tutorials. A couple of things for you guys to remember. Within your notes, I will always give you a resource to go to help you fill out those notes, right? And so the resource will always be in picture. So click the picture, bada bing, bada boom. Look at that resource to help me fill out my notes. So this is what you use to help you fill out the notes. Before you continue, there were a whole bunch of typos in the notes for this section. So I'm going to double click till I see this border come up on the yellow box and then press delete. That didn't work. Try it again. Delete. We don't want that anymore because there's so many mistakes. I'm going to click Christopher Columbus and drag him down. We're done. So all I need to do for these notes is define these words and answer these questions. So where do I find the definitions of the words? In the PowerPoint. So it's still taking a while to load. There we go. So I'm going to go through the slides. And I see this is bolded and in red. Trade, to buy, sell, or exchange goods and services. Go back to my notes. I'm going to click until I see a cursor pop up like that. I'm going to press enter, and trade means to buy or sell goods. Let's go back, check it again. To buy, sell, or exchange goods or services. All right, to buy or sell goods and services. Now, try not to have your answers to notes the same color as what's already on our notes. I'm going to change it to black. Go through my PowerPoint. I'm going to read it. Think about it. Why do people trade things? Well, if I'm going to buy and sell something, usually when I buy or sell something, when I buy something, it's because I don't already have that. And when I sell something, it's because I don't need that and I want some money. Go back to my notes. That question's over here. Why do people trade things? People trade things. Change my color to black. So, complete sentence. People trade things because they either don't need it or need the item anymore, or because they need an item they don't have. All right, this was a little mistake, so I'm going to fix that. Now, this is really teeny tiny. I want to make this bigger, so I'm going to highlight everything. Go up here where I see the minus sign, the number plus sign. I'm just going to press the plus sign till I get it the size that I want. That's pretty decent. Let's finish reading through my PowerPoint. Okay, do you think it's faster to trade by land or sea? Well, this answer will be different depending on what you believe. So I'm not going to completely fill this in. I'm just going to give you the sentence starters. I think it is faster to travel by land because, and then type your answer. Or if that's not you, I think it is faster to travel by sea because ... and then put your answers. Why do you think it's faster to travel on the land or sea? When you answer this question, you got to think about how it was in the old times, okay? They didn't have cars, airplanes, motor boats, and things like that. They had horses, regular, size ships, camels, things of that nature, and their feet. They use their feet. They had wagons as well. So when you're answering question number 2, Just think about how it was back then and tell me why you think it would be faster either go across the land or across the sea. Because what types of things could you run into when you are traveling to exchange goods, right? You have to think about the weather, think about things breaking or messing up, getting lost, being robbed, those type of things, okay? Let's move on. Going through my PowerPoint. So, it says most of the goods come from Asia and they moved west. So items would start over here in Asia and then move this way and back and all around. Back then, what would happen was, like I said, everything would usually come from Asia. So the Asians would exchange and trade things with the Muslims. Then the Muslims would do all the moving and trade with the Italians, and then it would go into other parts of Europe. All right, so it moved from the continent of Asia through the Middle East into Europe through the Italians, and then people within Europe, move those things, and then it will go around in a circle. So what do you think happens to the price of goods every time they exchange hands? So if, let's say, several food items that we don't already have in Europe are only grown in Asia. So the Asian people have to grow this product, pick this product, package it, okay? So because they did all that work, the Muslims have to pay them a certain amount. But now the Muslims have to take all those things and travel a distance, because first the Muslims had to leave their homes to go meet the Asian traders to get these. Now they got to go back past their homes to where the Italians are to give them this. So the price goes up from what the Asians initially charged, because they have a travel fee and a pickup fee and a carrying fee, right? Well, now the Italians are going to do the same thing. So if I paid this much for it, I'm going to add on some money, because now I have to travel out of my country to somewhere else to get you this product, okay? And then I got to make up for that extra amount of money that the Muslim traders charged me for the item. So we're going to answer that last question. What do you think happens to the price of goods when they move from person to person? I'm going to go up here, change my color. So the price of goods most likely increase as they moved from person to person. I'm going to highlight this, go up here by the number and make it a little bigger. A couple things I want to show you guys. When you are answering questions, you have to use the question itself to help you come up with your answer in a complete sentence. So what do you think happens to the price when goods move from person to person? So I'm going to start my sentence out. The price of goods, because that's what it's asking. What happens to the price? Most likely, and then I answer it. I say it increases as they move from person to person. Move from person to person. I copied this. So this right here, let me highlight that. This part of the sentence matches this from the question, okay? Move from person to person, move from person to person. What do you think happens to the price? So, price, right? And then what? When you see what in the question, that is usually the person who made the quiz or whatever, the question wants you to give them a direct answer. What happens to the price when it moves from person to person? Okay, so I have the price, and what my specific answer regarding the price is that it increases. And so I'm gonna highlight that. All right, and so those are the matching components of the question that I use to make a complete answer sentence. All right, next. Rest I got to do is define these words. Moving through advancements in technology, new technology in the 1300s and 1400s, such as the magnetic compass and larger boats, allowed Europeans to explore the world. In 1492, Christopher Columbus set out to reach Asia but landed in the Americas, or the New World. What does that mean? Christopher Columbus was lost, but when they saw land again, he was like, cool, we'll claim this for Spain, because Spain is the country that hired Christopher Columbus. So I'm gonna make this smaller because I don't know why that's so big. You can't see all the words. Next part. Columbus's voyages marked a turning point in world history and began a lasting contact among the peoples of Europe, Asia, and the Americas. Turning point is red. That means it's obviously important. So I'm gonna go back to my notes. Is turning point one of my vocabulary words? Yes. So I'm gonna go down, change it to black, go back to my PowerPoint. A turning point. Turning point, right here. It tells me in the very next bullet point. Turning point, a moment in history that marks a major change. So I'm gonna just type that in here. A moment in history that marks a major change. All right, and so this will lead to colonization. Colonization is red, it's bolded, it's underlined. Let's see if that's something I need to define. No, but I do need to define colony. So let's go back. Boop, it's right here. A colony is a group of people who settle in a distant land, but are still ruled by their native land. So I'm gonna go put that in my notes. Change it to black. Define colony. Now you see how this is big and it's running into the next part. I'm gonna highlight this and go up here to my plus and minus sign and make it smaller. Okay. Let's keep going through the PowerPoint. Next, this slide talks about cultural diffusion. Cultural diffusion itself is red, and I see red words. That means I need to pay attention to them, right? So, cultural diffusion, the exchange of plants, animals, ideas, and diseases between the Eastern and Western hemispheres after 1492. After 1492, why is that so important? Well, if you go to the previous slide, in 1492, Christopher Columbus set out to reach Asia. So after Christopher Columbus landed in the Americas, cultural diffusion started to happen. What happened? Well, Europeans brought new ideas, plants, animals, and diseases to the Americas. Native Americans, that are people in the Americas, introduced new ideas, plants, and animals to Europe, Asia, and Africa. All right, so the Europeans brought some of their things, but the Native Americans introduced people to those things. The difference between the words, so brought, because the Europeans were the ones who traveled, so they packed things with them, brought them with them, right? The Native Americans didn't do no traveling. They was at their house, chilling, doing what they was doing. All right, and so they introduced, because these people came over here, we meeting these people, I'm going to show you something new. So world started changing. Look in our list: wheat, sugar, banana, rice, grape, olive oil, dandelion, horse, pig, cow, goat, chicken, smallpox, and typhus. Smallpox and typhus are diseases that the Europeans brought with them to the rest of the world. Also horses, they introduced horses to people in the Americas because they didn't have horses over there already. The people in the Americas introduced the world to corn, potatoes, sweet potatoes, beans, peanuts, squash, pumpkin, peppers, pineapples, tomatoes, and cocoa powder. All right, chocolate. So cultural diffusion, the exchange of plants, animals, ideas, and diseases. Let's type this in my own words. cultural diffusion. First, I'm going to change the color. So, the exchange of plants, animals, and don't forget diseases. Diseases and animals after Columbus's journey in 1492. It's very important that I included that all of these things started to exchange after Columbus found the New World, because he connected the world. He created that turning point, all right? There was a major change in the whole world because he found these other people in this other land with these other resources and ways of living. All right, I have two more words: voyage and Northwest Passage. Northwest Passage, a Northwest Passage. So even after Columbus discovered the Americas, European rulers sent explorers to find a shorter route to China. So remember, Columbus only left Spain because they wanted to find a shorter route to Asia by sea. All right. Why did they go by sea? Because they had new advancements in technology. What were those new advancements? The new advancements was a magnetic compass and larger boats. Because we have these things, it's going to be easier for us to figure out where we're going, which way we need to go, and we can travel to get there on a better boat. Okay. But Columbus was lost. He was supposed to go to Asia, but ended up in the Americas. Even though they still was like, we're cool with being in the Americas, we're going to do our thing there, they really still wanted that trade route to Asia. Why? Because remember, when they were trading on land, the price of goods constantly was increasing. It took a longer time to travel across the land, and they needed a better way to move and trade and exchange goods. Thus, we have the boats. They can go a little bit faster with the boat. So even though Columbus discovered the New World and they were able to colonize over here in the Americas and in Africa, they still wanted that shorter trade route to Asia by sea instead of going on land. So what did they do? They sent out explorers and hired people to go find what they believe was a Northwest Passage. So they thought, this is Europe, if you go this way, because north is up and west is to the left. If you go to the left, there should be a way that you get to Asia. They were wrong. They would have to go north and then east to get to Asia, because Asia's over here. But they thought if we can go north and go west, we should reach China. It didn't work. So Northwest Passage, a waterway through or around North America. So let's type that in. Change my color first. So a waterway through or around North America. And I'm going to add this extra part to Asia, because it's very important that we understand. They thought they could go north and west to get to Asia. There was a pathway, a secret pathway that they can use to get to Asia faster. All right, last word we have is voyage. If the Northwest Passage slide is our last slide, where is the word voyage? So I'm going to look through my notes, skim, skim, skim. I don't see it. Skim, 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 skim. I don't see it. Skim, skim, skim. Up, here it goes. Columbus's voyage marked a turning point in world history. What does voyage mean? Even though this is not highlighted and I don't have a definition given to me like I have for turning point and colony, I can use my context clues to figure out what voyage means, okay? So Columbus's voyage. Columbus. That means this is something he did. What did Columbus do? Well, it tells us in the first one. In 1492, Columbus set out to reach Asia, but he landed in the Americas. So, how could Columbus set out to go anywhere? Previous slide tells us with this better technology, okay? Large boat, the compass. So Columbus set out on a boat to reach Asia, but landed in the New World. Columbus' voyage marked a turning point in world history and began the lasting contact among the people. Voyage most likely means a journey, because that's all he took. He took a trip, he took a journey. So I'm gonna come up here. Voyage, a journey or trip. And what do you notice about what I just typed up? It's still red, so I'm gonna highlight it. Press the A, change it to black, and I'm gonna make it a little smaller, so I'm going to decrease. And boom, you're done with the notes. The next part, click here for your assignment. Assignments will always be in this green thing, and that opens up. Watch the video below or copy and paste the link to complete this assignment. The first half of the video will cover 8 questions. Boom, there's your video. Make sure you type, answer, and then click next, okay? But yes, that is the end of the part 1 of European colonization notes. Go ahead and add at the end of the note title, part 1, so you know the difference. And then the date that we did these assignments was either on September 14th or September 15th. Okay, but those are your notes for part